There's one number that tells you right now whether you're actually on track at 30. Most people in their 30s have never calculated it. It's not your salary. It's not your savings account balance. It's not even your net worth, at least not on its own. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what that number is, how to calculate it in about 5 minutes, and what to do if you're behind. No judgment, just the actual data. If you're in your 30s and you've ever quietly wondered whether you're behind, this video is for you. You make decent money, you're not reckless with it, but somewhere along the way, you started wondering if everyone else has it more figured out than you do. Here's the truth. Most of what gets repeated online about net worth by 30 is wrong, outdated, or missing context that actually matters. In the next few minutes, you're going to get 3 numbers: your net worth benchmark, your investing benchmark, and your savings benchmark, then a simple 3-move plan if any of them show you're behind. Let's start with the number everyone gets wrong first. Chapter 1. Net worth milestones. By age, what's realistic? Net worth is just one number. Everything you own minus everything you owe. Your accounts, your home equity if you have it, your retirement balances minus your debt. It sounds simple. But the benchmarks people quote for it are usually built off of averages that include people who are 70 with a paid-off house and a few million in retirement accounts sitting right next to people in their 20s with negative net worth from student loans. That skews the picture, hard. So here's a cleaner way to think about it. A widely used rule of thumb says you should aim for roughly your annual salary saved by 30. If you make $65,000 a year, that's a net worth around $65,000. But that rule was built decades ago, before housing costs and student debt looked the way they look now. For a lot of people in their 30s today, hitting that number by 30 just isn't realistic, and it doesn't mean anything is wrong with your finances. Here's the part that surprises people. Median net worth in your 30s is significantly lower than that salary benchmark for most Americans. If you're below it, you are not the exception. You are most people. What actually matters more than the dollar figure is the direction it's moving. A 30-year-old with $15,000 in net worth growing every year is in a far better position than someone with $60,000 that hasn't moved in 3 years. Chapter 2. How much should you have invested by 30? This is the number that actually predicts your future more than total net worth does, because investments compound. Cash sitting in checking does not. A useful target. By 30, aim to have around half of your annual salary actually invested, not just saved. That means in a 401k, a Roth IRA, a brokerage account. Money that's working, not money that's parked. Here's why this number matters more than people think. If you invest $500 a month starting at 30 into something like an S&P 500 index fund, averaging a historical 7% return after inflation, you're looking at roughly $600,000 by 65. Start that same habit at 40 instead of 30, and you end up with less than half of that, even though you only lost 10 years. This is the part nobody tells you. The gap between starting at 30 and starting at 35 isn't 5 years of contributions. It's closer to a decade of compounding you never get back. Time in the market does more of the work than the amount you contribute. If you have any money invested at all right now, you're already ahead of a large share of people your age. If you don't yet, the next chapter is where you start. Chapter 3. The savings benchmark. Most people skip. 7 to 9. Before net worth, before investing, there's a number that protects everything else you're building, your emergency fund. The benchmark here is 3 to 6 months of essential expenses sitting in a high-yield savings account, not your checking account, not invested. An account like this currently earns somewhere around 4 to 5%, instead of the roughly 0.4% national average in a standard savings account. If your essential expenses run $3,000 a month, you're looking at a target of $9,000 to $18,000 set aside. Here's why this benchmark gets skipped. It feels boring next to investing. But without it, one job loss or one car repair can force you to pull money out of investments at the worst possible time, which undoes years of compounding in a single bad month. Chapter 4. The 3-move plan. If you're behind. If one or all 3 of those benchmarks showed you're behind, here's exactly what to do. No overhaul required, just 3 moves in order. First, calculate your actual net worth today. Not an estimate in your head. An actual list. Every account, every balance, every debt. You cannot fix a number you have not measured. Second, if you don't have an emergency fund started, Open a high-yield savings account this week and set up an automatic transfer, even if it starts small. $100 a month is still a start. Third, if you're not investing yet, open a Roth IRA with a provider like Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab and set up an automatic monthly contribution. You do not need to pick perfect investments on day one. You need money in the account and time working on your side. The order matters here. Emergency fund before aggressive investing. Investing before chasing a higher net worth number for its own sake. Skipping the order is the most common mistake people make once they decide to get serious. 3 numbers to know. Your net worth, which matters less for the dollar amount and more for the direction it's moving. Your invested assets, where time matters more than the amount you put in. And your emergency fund, which protects everything else you build. If you take one action from this video, do this today. Calculate your actual net worth. Even a rough estimate, written down, beats a guess in your head. Comment your age and whether you'd say you're ahead, on track, or behind. No judgment. I read every comment and I want to know where people actually stand. If this was useful, subscribe. We cover a new wealth benchmark every Monday. Next week, we're looking at 35. And if you want a simple way to track all 3 of these numbers in one place, we built a net worth tracker. Link is in the description.